And the other thing, too, and I'm going to bring it up, we know how this game works. Brothers who usually get a job coach and get the worst teams, and they do.
They do, yeah.
And they get it, and they're expected to turn it around right away. They don't get the option. Jeff Fisher just got a 2-year extension. They're 4-8. He's 3-9. Fisher gets a 2-year extension, and he hasn't had a winning record or made the playoffs in the last 5 years. Who gets an extension after mediocre play and non-playoff
He hasn't won a playoff game in 13 years.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Skip, and that's my point. I'm not saying Todd Bowles is the greatest coach, and I could go through the list. Bill Belichick had 3 losing seasons in Cleveland before they started to win. All I'm saying is
he was
it's
in the
not
process
fair.
of having a losing one that 2001 year before heavens opened
And it
Tom
turned
Brady
around.
fell into his
Yeah,
lap.
because he had lost the 2000 season.
That's what I'm saying. So I just think that this is prisoner of the moment. Was that
Okay,
god
but
awful last night?
Shannon
That
Sharpe,
was terrible.
when you said let's load up the U-Haul and send it all away,
Yep.
did that include Todd Bowles?
Hey, if you want to, if somebody want to talk to him, you can have Todd Bowles too.
Okay. I'm with Rob on this one because, and maybe I'm leaning toward, I know Todd Bowles and he's a good man. Now, it's possible he will prove to be a better defensive coordinator than a head coach. I don't know that, but his first go-round in New York was 10-6, and it came to the last game. And actually, Ryan Fitzpatrick came up small in their final game, as you recall,
It
against
was
Buffalo.
terrible.
But still, they went 10-6. So I got to give him one more go-round at least before I send him out. But look, I can't defend what happened last night, and that was very troubling to me because that was, to your point, I'm not even sure they showed up, but whatever, they had quit before the game.
Yes.
And I don't know why, because it's a Monday Night Football stage in your place, on your field.
And they had just played the week before against the Patriots pretty well.
Pretty well. And they had a fairly recent win against Baltimore on that same field, which was 24-16. And they started off the year, they should have won the opener against Cincinnati. Remember that? Nick Foles misses an extra point and a chip shot field goal. And Brandon Marshall dropped a ball in the middle of the field, like at the 45, that would have maybe given him another field goal.
Did he
shot.
play last night?
Who? Brandon Marshall was, he suited up.
MIA.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just making sure.
And then remember, they lost Eric Decker, his bookend,
Yep.
after 3 games.
Yep.
And that was a big loss for Ryan Fitzpatrick because he trusted Eric Decker even more than I think he trusted Brandon Marshall. But still, they went up to Buffalo in game number 2. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Buffalo was riding pretty high at this point, and they won 37-31. And Ryan Fitzpatrick looked like last year. He threw for 374, and then, boom, as you predicted, boom. History kicked back in, and it was the good year followed by the bad year. They lost 4 in a row, then they beat Baltimore, and then they lost 4 more in a row, including last night. If I'm Woody Johnson, last night would scare me because it looked like they were quitting on the head coach, and I don't understand that. I don't know what internally is going on, but it's a bad sign, but it's not bad enough yet. They still have a few games to go here, including another Patriots game. I'd want to see if they can show any sign of life down the stretch. If they don't, if they continue not to show up for, what do they have left, 4 more games?
4 games.
If they don't show for 4 more games, I would start to wonder about have they quit on Todd Bowles?
If they lose like they lost last night,
right.
and in 3 of the 4 games,
Yes.
again, then obviously,
all right.
I can't even throw a rescue rope to try to help Todd Bowles.
preserve.
Life preserver at that point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But if they come out and just let's take it as that was a stinker, and stinkers happen. You know, I don't care who you are. Sometimes your team comes out there flat. They just don't play well. Let's take a look and see. And I think if they just be respectable the rest of the way, he should get an opportunity to come back 1 more year. But you got to get the quarterback position right.
But the offense. Okay, forget the offense. We know they got anytime you're led by Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's probably going to end up with you missing the playoffs. But their entire D-line is first-round pick.
It is. No,
David Harris is a second-round pick. Lee, they just got from Ohio State, is a first-round pick.
He is.
You tell me Darrelle Revis. I want to talk to you about Darrelle Revis because there was a time that Revis Island, nobody, now they got,
Now it's more like Gilligan's Island.
T.Y. Hilton,
Does
petition
anybody know that show?
No, dude. I don't
Except
know.
us?
Can you Google it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody, look at the receivers on him. I don't care what anybody says. There's no one can convince me that Darrelle Revis cares about football at this point.
You're probably right.
There's no one I don't care if he told me out of his own mouth.
Yep.
That's not the body language of someone that cares. That's not the body language of a guy that said he was better than who many think is the greatest cornerback of all time, Deion Sanders.
I agree.
That's not that guy because he's not playing with the same bravado. He's not playing with the same intensity. He just looks like, I'm here. I'm going to go pick up this check tomorrow, and then I'm out. This getting beat is one thing, but you look at Allen. There's nobody within 5-10 yards of a guy that had 2 touchdowns coming into the game, and he had 3 at the half.
Yeah, it was.
That's unacceptable.
And Rob, to your point, too often black coaches in their first opportunity get bad opportunities. Todd Bowles got a pretty good opportunity a year ago because that was a pretty good football team with Revis coming back and Cromartie and
then
Brandon
they
Marshall.
went 10-6.
They did. I got it.
He didn't take them down a
Nope,
notch,
he did
right?
not.
So they were right there, ready to make the playoffs.
To your point, Rob, they do. Because Marvin Lewis, where did he go? Cincinnati. Tony Dungy, where did he start?
Tampa. Right. I could go on and on.
And you look at the Jets, the Denny Green. He got the Vikes. The Vikes weren't doing anything when he went there.
No, he turned it around, right?
Yes, and then he went to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
So it's not like they're getting primed. They're not getting teams with franchise quarterbacks there. They're getting retreads.
And the 1 year that they gave the job to Ray Rhodes in Green Bay, remember, Brett Favre had like 24 interceptions. They went 8-8, just missed the playoffs, and he got fired after 1 year.
He did.
Go back and look. Ray Rhodes got fired after 1 year in Green Bay.